Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Business Success Network and Magazine, where we help people to get visible online, offline, face-to-face, and through events such as awards and networking. And I'm really excited today because I've got not one special guest, but I've got three special guests, and who knows if others are going to jump in as well. We have got our BSN 2024 winners, not all of them, because they won't all fit on one interview, but we've got some special guests with me and I'm excited because this is the first one. So, you know, all that build up to the awards where we were talking about the finalists and getting in the room, we've had that now. It was an amazing evening, over 180 people in the room, very much championing each other. And let's not talk about me singing Never Forget, because, you know, that was the highlight of my evening, my Freddie moment, for those of you that were in the room. Anyway, this is not about me. I love getting people online. I love chatting to them. I love getting them in a room. I love having a hug. So let's bring them in for a bit of a virtual hug now. We've got Carla is coming in, and they're each going to introduce themselves in a second anyway. We've got Rachel and we've got Chris, three fantastic finalists. And I'll be really honest, their nominations were spot on. They were amazing. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's been just over a week. I don't know if about you. I've definitely not recovered. I was saying to Carla in the bit just before we came live that my husband said to me, I thought you said you were going to stop once the awards were out of the way. And, you know, it's 3 years in now. They just get busier and busier. So, Rachel, do you want to go first? Because you're used to kind of StreamYard and me interviewing you. You were a sponsor as well, and now you're a winner. So do you want to tell everyone a bit about you and your business?
Yeah, so I own quite a few businesses now. So I own Mess Around Limited is my main business, and we provide larger than life messy play for babies, toddlers up to age 5, and we also do Slime Lab for the older children as well. We're a franchise, so we've got a few franchisees across the UK. So yeah, on top of that, I also run the BSN community for children's activity providers. And we're just launching a new holiday club business as well. So staying within the children's activity provider, but it's where my heart is.
When you hear that phrase, if you want something done, ask a busy person. Well, this is definitely Rachel. So Rachel, tell everybody, what category did you win? In fact, you were a winner and a runner-up, weren't you?
I was, yeah. So I was runner-up in Against All Odds, which was really my journey into self-employment. And I won the BSN Outstanding Contribution to the Network Award as well, which I have just here.
So, the outstanding contribution then it's a slightly different one from all the others, because that is given to somebody within the network that has done great things to champion the network, to champion others, to champion members, basically that are doing great things. And, you know, we laugh and joke, but you put a post up yesterday about 2 years ago, you were at the awards. There was 2 people from your industry in the room. Fast forward last year, there was about
15, 20 people.
15, 20. Yeah. This year we had your own category for an award, and you had over 40 nominations, and I think there was over 40 children's activity providers in the room.
Yeah.
Which kind of shows why you won the outstanding contribution, because your network within our network is kind of taking over a little bit, which we love. I'll come back to that in a minute. So well done for winning. It's always a pleasure to give people the recognition they deserve. Chris, this is the first time we've met, so I can't wait to hear more about you. I've read your nomination, so I know a little bit, and obviously that went off to the finalists. They picked you as a winner. So tell everybody a bit about you and your business and which category you won.
Yeah, so my name is Chris. Currently 29. So my business is called Smart Choice Property Investment, and what we basically help do is we partner up with local authority providers, and we get them single let houses or blocks of flats, which they will use to put to help the council put more affordable housing in place. So a lot of families and stuff are struggling to get on the housing list, or some of them need to upsize, downsize, and there's just not a lot of properties on the private market. So a lot of people go down the council route, and we just basically help those providers get access to more properties. Basically speak to more landlords, get them more aware of how they can help by allowing their property rather to go on the private market, but to go down the local authority route. And yeah, it's helping people get placed in more homes. And that partnership started off in London. We've now branched off into Kent and Midway, and we're now branching off into Hertfordshire as well. So yeah, the business is slowly expanding. We've been doing it for 4 years now. Me and my business partner, we started it in lockdown. No money at all. We just didn't want to work our jobs anymore. We didn't have a passion for it. Done a few property trainings, and we got started during lockdown. And then 4 years later, I don't know what happened last year, but there was like a huge shift where like we literally grew our business by over 300%. We've done just $250,000 in revenue just in the last year alone. So yeah, it's a bit of a whirlwind the last 12 months. So now we're just expanding the business now, trying to add more services and partner up with more providers and see if we can expand further out and start to impact not just London, but start to impact the wider community as well. So that's where we're at the moment. I think it's a really
interesting route you've taken, because whenever I've spoken to property developers before, that kind of, you know, the affordable housing is not necessarily a route they've took. So I really like that. And I think it's going to come into play, you know, without getting political and everything. There is lots of stuff going on at the minute where, yeah, so I get it. I think that's a brilliant, you know, what was it, 300% growth? That's bonkers. It's huge. It's amazing. Well done, Chris. I'd love to chat more about it, because I think that is something that is much needed at the moment. I'm in an area where they're constantly trying to grow, you know, housing and stuff, and it's a challenge, let's say. So yeah, it'd be great. Michaela, welcome.
Hello, sorry I'm late. I was sat in a Google, the original Google meeting.
You know what, we were just saying, you're not the only one. So for those of you that are watching, we use StreamYard, and it's great. When you put it into Google Calendar, it sends you not only the StreamYard link, it sends you the Google Hangout link as well. And we're not hanging out. So don't worry, it's not you. We've all been there. There is some ultraverse where, you know, there's 5 people hanging out on Google. We don't know. But yeah, welcome. We're just doing some intros. So we've just heard from Chris. We've heard from Rachel. Carla, do you want to go next? And we'll give Michaela a little chance to settle in. And
yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Carla from Basking Babies. I set up Basking Babies 12 years ago. It all started when I was pregnant with my first child. And we basically offer a whole range of classes to support parents and their little ones from pregnancy through to preschool. The classes we offer are things like baby massage, baby yoga, pregnancy relaxation, reflexology. We have recently introduced women's circles, which are incredible. Everything we do is all about creating communities for people who are in this magical but very vulnerable stage of their lives. And yeah, creating communities is absolutely at our core. And we're now dealing with hundreds of parents each week across the country. It started off just me in my living room in Brentwood a long time ago. And then a couple of years later, I started a franchise, and now we've got 15 franchisees. We've got a load of instructors. I've now got a team behind me in head office. And our mission is to keep growing. We just want to reach everybody across the entire country and let everyone have access to our amazing classes, which really help them through that vulnerable time.
You know what? When I was first a mum, so 16 years ago, my eldest is 16 now, I don't think there was anything like that. I certainly didn't know about anything like that. So I love this. And you've mentioned community so many times there that, you know, I get it. I love building communities. So if you've got any questions for these guys, by the way, please do drop them in the chat and I will get them answered. Carla, which award did you win then?
Business Leader of the Year.
Business Leader of the Year. Amazing. And so, you know, to grow from that initial idea in your living room to having kind of 15 franchises, it takes a certain kind of person to lead that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think you absolutely have to have that vision and that passion, don't you? You have to really know what you're setting out to achieve. and be really headstrong in what you're in doing that, basically. And that vision has never left me from the very first moment I decided to do this. I'm still on that same mission. But I also think that it's not all rosy, is it? When you're leading stuff, it can be really challenging. So for me to get that award this year, we've done quite a few things that have been big changes within the business, obviously designed for the better for the business, but change is really hard, especially when you're leading a team. So that has not been easy. That has been really tough. So the timing of that award couldn't have been better for me. It was like, wow, okay. So this has been really hard. It's not been an easy ride. I'm sure it will get easier for a bit now that we've actually done the majority of the change that we were going to do. It's a hugely long story. I'm not going to bore you all with it, but it resulted in us having big system changes. So we changed our booking system, which resulted in us overhauling our entire website, getting a new website. And obviously change is difficult for people, isn't it? So difficult times, but we've made it through the other side. And
I'm nodding because I've been through very similar this year as well.
We need to have a conversation because I'm sitting there going, yeah, okay.
I've bent Stacey's ear numerous times about it.
As I do. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's a great thing about this network is there'll be supporters, there'll be cheerleaders where you can kind of say, you know, I've done this. If someone's watching this thinking, I want to grow a franchise, you've got some franchisors on the call that you can think, right, let's connect with them. If you're looking at going into property, come and speak to Chris because he's got 300% growth. He obviously knows what he's doing. Tyler, welcome.
Hello.
You want to give everyone a bit of an intro into you, your business, and which award you won?
Yeah. So me and my husband own National Business Register, and we specialise in intellectual property. So the business has been going since the 1980s, and we bought it in 2020, you know, as you do, buy a business in COVID. We started buying it before COVID hit, and by the time everything went through, it was August. And yeah, the business was probably worth loads less than it was. Loads of our clients went under. It was just, yeah, but we were in for a penny and for a pound. So I'm a solicitor, that's my background. And my husband is a financial director, I suppose, an accountant. So I had been doing lots of court work and then had a baby and realised that I can't be doing 8 o'clock on a Friday. So sort of stepped out of practice. My husband has been helping loads of businesses that were looking to either raise investment or to sell, and he was finding that no one had protected their intellectual property, so the businesses weren't worth as much. And we found a business that was for sale doing it, so we sort of dived in really. It had a core staffing team of 4, and they've been there for decades. They just know what they're doing day in, day out. And we sort of came on board with loads of really keen ideas, and there was some reluctance to change there, full of enthusiasm, and we made some mistakes, and we still are along the way, because that's what you do, and you learn and you adapt, don't you? But so we do things like trademarks and registered design. What we won the award for was Product of the Year, and that's our business name protection product. So that is something that we offer that's unique to us. And it bridges the gap for those that can't trademark. So some names can't be trademarked. They're too descriptive in nature. And other, people can't afford to straight away, and they want some level of protection for their startup, their new baby, but they just can't dive straight in with trademarking it. So business name protection protects a business's name from passing off, someone copying it in your particular industry. So if you're a photographer, you're probably not at risk of your customers going to a baker down the road, for example, for the photography services. But if you're in the same industry, that's what it's aimed at. And we have a sub-brand called Start.biz that champions that. It's not just for startups, but we found that a lot of the people that were looking to get that product from us were startups. And were put off a little bit by lots of the legal trademark spiel that was on our website. So we have 2 websites, and we are trying to sort of just appeal from startups all the way through. We have clients that are global hotel chains, for example, and we protect them across the world for their trademarks. But we also have a baker in a village that just sells to that village that also wants some protection. So that's what we do.
Amazing. And I think, you know, when we've also talked about starting that business, we all have this vision. You know, you said you were slightly, I can't remember what you said, but slightly crazy for buying a business during lockdown. We heard from Chris just before you jumped on that he started his business during lockdown because he didn't want to do the day job anymore. You know, we all have these dreams, this vision. And when we're starting up, it's quite daunting you kind of say yes to loads of things. And then, you know, I see it quite a lot in different forums where people are saying, oh, you know, someone's set up and they've got the same business name as me, or they've got the same Facebook page name as me. And so it sounds like you are really bridging the gap there. So it's great to hear. I'm sure there's loads of people within our network that would love to hear more about that, actually. So I think there might be like a masterclass or a guest speaker slot around what we can do to protect ourselves, and also probably some on leadership and change by the sounds of it as well. So yeah, so for those of you that were there, I can't believe it's been over a week now. Just have we calmed down a bit? Are we still kind of, Michelle? Michaela, I have to say, when I was looking at the photos yesterday, and the one of you where you were like, yeah, I absolutely love it. That was one of my favorites. So yeah, you definitely get prize for one of the best.
Enthusiasm, that's what we are. Naive enthusiasm.
Absolutely. So what was everyone's favorite bit, apart from winning their own award? Obviously, what was the best bits? What was the highlight?
Oh, I have to say the intro again. I didn't think you could top last year's, but I think you did a good job.
Did you like the little dancers?
Yeah, the guitars, Katie singing, it was just, yeah, it was fab.
So Chris, unfortunately you couldn't be there. We had a singer and she hadn't even told her husband she was singing. So as the music kicked in, she just got up off her, you know, from the table and started belting out this number. And he was like, what?
He was in shock.
Yeah, very much. He said, I nearly didn't film it because he was in such shock. So yeah, we had a little dance company. They came out, and then we had, so my husband is a guitarist in a band, and he rocked out last year with the MC, basically because the MC wanted him to and kept dragging him in to do things. And then this year we were not going to do that at all. And Matt, who played the bass, who was our goodie bag sponsor, rang me and said, I really want to get involved. Let me come and rock. So then we've got these two, got bassist and a guitarist, and actually nothing to do with them. So we were like, what are we going to do? And Jamie's singer was going to be Freddie Mercury. We were going to get him all in the yellow jacket. We were going to get him up. And he had a really bad accident 2 days before. So, Craig, if you're watching, get better soon. He very nearly didn't make it to the hospital. He managed to sever his artery and his tendons. So Katie, within 24 hours, went, yeah, I'll do it.
Wow.
I can learn Freddie Mercury in 24 hours. It'll be fine. So, yeah, I did love that. Jamie asked me yesterday, was it as good as the year before? I said they were totally different. So it's fine.
The atmosphere was amazing. It was absolutely amazing from start to finish. It was just incredible. There was always something happening, like you turn your head and there was something else going on. And I think the atmosphere created such a lovely environment for people to mingle and chat to different people. And I loved that part of it. I met so many people and got to talk to so many people. It was so friendly, so welcoming, so fun, so exciting. It was brilliant.
You didn't really know many people, did you? Because I remember doing the table plans and things, and Rachel was saying, I'm not sure Carla knows many people. And I was thinking, right, okay. And
just leave her on my table.
So Rachel is just amazing. She truly deserves her award, because I was only part of that because of Rachel. She must have put something in a group that I was in, I think about a year ago. I'm sure it was a year ago.
Yes.
And you said, you know, would anyone like to come on my table? And I thought, oh, why not? Yeah, I'll come on your table.
Yeah. And then thought, oh, I'll enter.
Yeah. So I'm only here because of Rachel. So
Well,
thank
you won't be
Are
surprised
you
to
not? You're
learn
here
that
'cause we
Rachel,
weren't.
Rachel is the first person, and she's already booked her table for next year.
You're amazing.
Personally, I just think it's the gin that keeps her coming back rather
Oh,
than.
there was a lot of prosecco actually that night. I thought my daughter might share a bottle with me, but she decided she didn't like it. So, yeah, it was.
All yours.
Well, I'm glad your daughter said she didn't like it, because I couldn't work out why my daughter was looking very wide-eyed. And then I found out about 2 a.m. she'd been taking shots at the bar of tequila with Claire Napper. So, Claire, if you are watching this, getting my daughter slightly tipsy on tequila was not what I had planned. I was thinking, she's working the room really well. Well, she's working. She's necking tequila with everyone. Oh, honestly, Chris, you missed a brilliant night. I hope you can make it next year.
100%. It sounds like a great night. I did watch all the Instagram stories and Facebook stories as well. Yeah, just to see what I was missing out on.
We're gonna we'll get some more TikToks done, but again, it's that thing, isn't it, where I'm getting in all the video content now, and it's like, right, got to get it put out and do all that. So yeah, we've done some intros. I think we've done the never forget bit at the end. It's all the stuff in the middle now that's got to come out.
It's just the like Carla was saying, the buzz and the pace. I mean, I've been to some before where it's really drawn out, and you are just sat there going, "Come on, let's just move this along. I'm hungry. I want my next course." Whereas there is none of that with yours.
Well, this is why we feed you in between, because
with the ones where they do massive awards in between. Like you were like an hour and a half between courses, and you're just like, right, come on, this is.
Yeah,
I think yours just works really well. It's
thank you. I've been to quite a few awards over the years, and there are some where you have your meal first, but then the awards after feel quite rushed, and then there's some, like you say, where you've had your starter and you feel teased because you're having to wait a couple of hours for your main. So we do try, and Anna's really good at this. She's going, look, people are going to be. They're getting hangry now. They need their starters. Can't waffle. She'll tell me, like, you can't waffle on stage. You've got to feed people. So,
I've only ever been to one award before this one, and it was in the same location, but it was really different. That the awards were completely about sponsors previously, and any of the winners, none of them spoke. So I was really surprised when people were speaking. I was like, oh no, now I've got to speak. The previous awards we went to, honestly, none of the winners spoke. They went up, they collected an item, a trophy of some kind, had a photo, and then they left. There was nothing about them, their business, their story. And, I mean, blood, sweat, and tears go into these businesses. They really, really do. It's so emotive. It really, you put everything in, and then it was literally a photograph, which is lovely, and a trophy is lovely, but it was just about the sponsors. So this was a whole different experience.
Do you know what? I'm really pleased, because I went to, like I said, I've been to a few awards. I've been to a couple this year, and I always, because I'm really kind of picky, and my business coach, the minute the night's done, he's like, right, what are you going to do next year? How's it going to be better? And so you've always got that in your head, and you go to these awards and you're not picking at them, but you kind of think, oh, I like that. Oh, I wouldn't do it that way. So you're constantly learning and evolving. And I did go to one the other week where the sponsor came up on stage, absolutely, handed the person the award, and then off they went to get their photo. Like you said, there was no, and I'm thinking, but that's the whole, I mean, I talk, and I know my whole business is based around marketing assets. It's around, the visibility, and that's what these awards were about. They were about the winners, the runners up, and the finalists, and even the nominees. I do a whole training beforehand on how to make the most out of it. Go and get your press releases done. Go and get in the press. Here's your templates. Go and do all that. Get up on stage, get off stage, go and have as many photos as you can. It's all about you guys. And so you've won the award. That's brilliant. Don't just sit there with it on a shelf now. Get it out there. Like I said, our network, I want to hear from you. If you want to be a guest speaker, if you want to do a training or a masterclass, if you want to write a blog for the website, this is what we're all about. You are our 2024 winners now. So we want to showcase you and, your skills and you as leaders and industry experts. The judges always deliver on their amazing winners. And I don't know how they did it this year, because I read every nomination that comes in. They come straight to my inbox, and then I file them off to wherever they need to go. And the level of entries this year was so high. Like, how do you pick between Chris, who's got growth of 300% and started in lockdown, compared to, I don't know, some, it could be anybody, but there was so many, and there was some categories. Children's activity providers, I never want to see another nomination for that again, because we couldn't pick. We put it down about 4 times. Freelancer of the year was the same. And what was the other new one that we had that was service provider? Literally the judging panel and the panel even before the judges, we just couldn't decide. And that's why some of them had 8 finalists this year, because we always try to go for around 5, but actually if you've got 8 and you can't pick between them, then they all deserve to be finalists in my eyes. So it is about you guys. It's about how you get visible, use those marketing assets, because it's been a pleasure to watch you get up on stage. Carla, I know there's a great photo of you and Anna Neville, like, going bonkers at the end. Use them, that's the fun, that's what your business gives you. It's exciting. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure to kind of get to know you more. Let's just do a quick go round. What does the rest of 2024 hold for you guys? Carla, do you want to go?
Exciting times, hopefully. We've got more services coming out, so we'll have more classes to be offering our franchisees, to be delivering to our customers. And my aim is to just keep growing, just steadily, obviously, nothing crazy, but just steady growth. So I'm hoping to recruit new franchisees into the business, so that we can just continue that incredible path. That's the plan.
Amazing, thank you. I'm sure there's many budding franchisors out there that are going to be wanting to pick your brains. So yeah, I like what you said about steady as well, because there is that thing of, you might be doing this and suddenly you get loads of people wanting, and it's finding those right franchisees, isn't it? So
yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. I look forward to seeing world domination from you then, Carla. Rachel, what about yourself?
So as far as Mess Around concerned, again, just steady growth. We've got some new revenue streams coming in I'm quite excited about as well, to just expand our growth that way. Obviously Cheerful Champs, we're looking to push that out. We've been fighting for funding, which is a whole new kettle of fish for me, because we want to open it up to free school meal children, just to give them opportunities. And I think there's possibly a conference to plan for next year.
I was sitting there thinking, should I make notes of this? And I thought, no, all she's doing is giving me a longer to-do list. Oh, dear.
Yes, definitely a new conference.
There is a conference to plan. In fact, I won't even tell you, but I did send the monkeys, Scruffy Monkey, do our website, and I've sent them a 3-page conference drop-down thing to sort out. So yes, there will be a conference coming very soon. Chris, what about yourself? What are we going to go for next? Like 600% growth? What's
if we can. The main thing for us is we are trying to get a lot more partnerships with developers, because we realize there's a lot more beneficial when we can get a surplus of blocks of flats, because there's just more units to be able to deliver at one go. So it really helps out a lot. So we do have quite a few calls and meetings with new developers, portfolio developers, and also international investors who are looking to build on land. So they've bought the land already and looking to build new developments. And then we're going in as basically their, not exit strategy, what's it called? But like, we'll go in and basically say, listen, build this because you're going to give it over to social housing or local authority. So that's basically what we're trying to get in a lot earlier. So then when these flats and stuff are being built, they're not just going to go straight to the private market. Like, people for affordable housing are going to have a chance on some of these new builds. So that's mainly our avenue for the rest of the year. And we're introducing training for new starters in the property world in terms of what we do. So yeah, we'll be looking at starting our training.
Giving something back to, I love that. And I love, like you said, you're almost like that. I don't want to call you a go-between, but you're like an agent in between those landlords that possibly don't understand the affordable housing route. I used to work with a charity who actually met with some landlords, and they realized that if they rented it out to the charity could put in vulnerable ladies, and they would be the go-between. You know, the charity and the social housing, the affordable housing, the councils could actually work together and get these ladies into a safe house. And the landlord, you know, has the knowledge that he's going to get his rent every month. It's not going to have to, you know, if you private rent, I'm guessing, you have one tenant, off they go. You then have to redo everything. Then you have to put it out there and advertise it. So actually with affordable housing, by making those landlords aware, you're actually opening a whole new market to them. So yeah, it's amazing, Chris. Thank you so much. Michaela, what's happening with you?
Growth for us, really. We've never really marketed ourselves as a business, and so this year, last year we developed and had a complete overhaul of the Start Biz website. This year we're doing the same with MBR, and we are doing PPC for the first time ever. So for the first time ever, we're working with an agency about sort of doing some PR work, and we're doing some Google ads. So it's all new to us. So we're giving it a go and seeing what happens. We've added 2 extra people and a consultant to our team in the last 6 months. So we are we're ready to go. We're ready for the clients to come flooding in.
Amazing. What I will get you all to do, so this has gone out on the main Facebook page, it's gone out on our LinkedIn, and it's gone out on YouTube. And I've shared, while I'm sat here, I've been sharing it into all our 9 communities. So the lives will be there. But if you go onto the mainstream on the Facebook and on YouTube, and pop your details where people can find you into the comments, it means that anyone that does want to connect with you, other than being in the community, they'll be able to contact you direct. So we love that. We want you to get out there. We want people to be able to find you. So please do pop all your details on there. We've had loads of people watching. Fina said, good morning. Congratulations to all. It was an amazing night. Carolyn Parker has said hi, such a lovely night. And Fina says amazing photo, which was the one I was talking about with Anna and Carla, and the clappers I think you had in your hand. So congratulations. Oh, absolutely. There was lots of dancing, there was lots of fun, there was lots of energy. The thing for me is the support in the room. Like genuinely, there was no, oh, you know, they won and I didn't. It was, everybody was a winner. To be in the top 8 of your category or top 5 is a huge win anyway. There was nearly, let's say, over 500 nominations. And so, you know, you are one of those 16 winners. So well done to you all, because you've done an incredible job. So amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will end it there now. I said it would be half an hour. We've been 32 minutes and 55 seconds. I never finish on time. But we are going to go. Folks, if you've been watching this and you've got any questions for my guests, please do drop them in the comments. I'm sure we'll come back and we'll answer any that you've got. And if you're watching this on replay, then hashtag replay so that we know that you are watching it. Enjoy. I nearly said enjoy the weekend. It's nowhere near the weekend.
I'm wishing your life away.
I'm wishing it was the weekend, I think. Oh dear. Right. Enjoy the rest of your week, folks. And I will see you all very soon.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.